Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Convention Help Desk episode 5. And today we're going to be just talking about the guests that you're going to see there. What kind of guests, things that happen that pertain to them, all that good stuff. So to start, I'm going to tell you about two different kinds, technically three, but two different categories for guests. So the first one is the community guests. So that would be the cosplay community. So I don't know if all of them do it, but I know that the ones I go to always have a cosplay guest. So people like, as much as I don't care, Jessica Negri and Yaya Han are the two big ones right now. So they get invited as a cosplay guest, and they usually have a panel on cosplaying, and because people think that they're the goddesses of cosplay or whatever. They're not, but they think they are, or a lot of people think they are. I don't think they think they are, but they're perceived as such by a lot of the community. So that is what a community guest would be. That's what I call it. I don't know if it's an actual thing, like if it has a real name, because these aren't the same as the second type of guests, which is industry guests. And those are things like, that's where the two come in, the third one comes in. There's like industry guests that work on anime, or manga, or games, comics, TV, whatever, a visual entertainment media, whereas the other type of industry is a musical guest, where it's an audio type of entertainment, where you can go buy their CD rather than watching something on a screen. So those are the two types of industry guests. So voice actors would be the first kind, the non-musical ones. So voice actors, mangaka, which is a manga artist, light novel writers. We've had Reiki, whatever his name is, I can't remember his name. The guy who created Sword Art Online and wrote the light novels. We had him at SakuraCon 2013, I believe it was, or 2014. And then there's like video game producers, video game voice actors, things like that. But then you have musical guests, like the actual like J-rock bands. Like we've had Duran Gray up here. They're on tour a lot now, so they're a little too famous now. We've had a couple other bands like that that aren't related to anime. Sometimes they are. We have had Lisa, L lowercase I S A, and she's the one who did the first opening to Sword Art Online. And then we had and that was the same year that Reiki was there, for the Sword Art Online thing. It was a big Sword Art Online thing. It was like the premiere of the, and we had the world premiere of it was the world premiere of the English dub, at SakuraCon that year. That was the world premiere of it. And we had like Bryce Papenbrook and Cassandra Morris, because they're in it. We had a couple other people that year. I think we had Stephanie Shea that year too, because she's in the second half, but nobody knew until way too late. Things like that. But Lisa, the singer, she was a musical guest, as well as the singer for the, I think it's a second ending song. I believe it's a second ending. And I don't remember her name now. They took her songs off YouTube, so I can't find it anymore. It used to be on a playlist for me so I could listen to it, but it's not anymore. Got deleted. But she was there also as a musical guest. So, but they didn't have, I don't think they had any other musical guests other than those two, because that's two musical guests already. They're lucky to get one sometimes. So, having two is pretty good. But, so having a musical guest can be from an anime, if that's what happens. But, like, we've had, what was I don't remember the name of the band. It starts with an M, I think. And, they had a guy in there who, like, coined, Elegant Gothic Lolita, EGL. I can't remember his name now, and I can't remember the band's name either. I can't pronounce the band's name, actually. It's like, it's not even Japanese or English. It's something I can't pronounce, in some other language. I think it's French or something. Sounds French. I don't know. But like that, they could have a guest who's not a part of any animes at all. And we've had Garugamesh too. I think that was 2009. I wasn't here for it, but there's a commercial for it. If you search up SakuraCon commercial, you'll see it. There's a guy that goes, Garugamesh! and it's like, yeah, sit down, just sit down. So those are the type of guests you're going to see there. You're unlikely to see a comic guest at an anime convention, like at KomoriCon. It's very, very unlikely that you're going to get someone who's known for comics. A lot of the voice actors who go to SakuraCon will be in both. Like Vic Mignogna, he's just, SakuraCon just loves him for some reason. He's like there every other year, I swear, and sometimes twice in a row. But he does a lot of other stuff than just anime. He does I think he does some cartoons too, and he's now in Ruby, which isn't an anime either. It's technically American. I mean, I guess if you consider, anime only Japanese, then Ruby is not. Plus, it's done in like video game graphics, so I don't know. But he plays in that now. So, and then he also does like live action stuff, like Star Trek stuff. So he's not just anime. So people go there to get him for that too. But it is an anime convention, so they're not going to have like Stan Lee or other comic creators. They're not going to have what's his name that made Johnny the Homicidal Maniac and Invader Zim. They're not going to have him there because he's not an anime person. He doesn't do anime. He does comics. So they're not going to have that kind of stuff. So there are different kinds of panels. I will talk about panels in another episode, like panels just for an episode. Like I think episode 7 or 8 is going to be panels, but this has to do with the guests. So I'm going to talk about this now. There are guest panels pertaining specifically to guests. In the actual panel thing, like the episode that I do panels in, I will link back to this, so you guys will be able to come back to this, or if someone's watching the other one, I guess they can find this episode. But we're going to talk about the type of panels that guests host, and one of the main ones is the Q&A panels. Oh, and these are called industry panels because they're not run by fans. They're run by the industry people, the people for the industry guests. That's who runs it. So they call them industry panels rather than just panels or fan panels. But the Q&As are just what they sound like. They're gonna talk for a little bit, like they'll introduce themselves, say a couple things they've been in, whatever, give a little blurb about them, and then they'll let you line up to a microphone or call on you if they can. But they usually do it where they have people line up on a microphone, and then you just ask them questions. You can get back in line as many times as you want. You can ask usually 1 to 2 questions, make it kind of short. If it's 2 really long questions, get back in line for the second question. Don't ask 2 really long questions or ones that are going to have a long answer. Like, what's the recording process like for blah blah blah? They probably answered this a lot, but they probably have a long answer to try to give you enough information so that you know enough about what their answer is to understand it. Don't ask that and then ask another long question. Go back in line. They're usually like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, so you do have more than enough time to get back in line and ask again. It's very awesome to go to these. And the good thing is there's some guests whose names you can't pronounce. Like at AkiCon, we had Josh Greeley. Now, his name is Grelle. That's, I assumed was Grell. Because, the only thing that's different than the Grell from Black Butler is it has an E at the end. And I would have figured that would have been silent. I don't know, it's just me. And so did everybody else who went there, apparently. Anyone who didn't already see him beforehand and, already hear his name pronounced by him beforehand, everybody else was calling him Josh Grell. So, it's good because they introduced themselves pronouncing their name correctly. So that's how I learned his name was Greeley, not Grell. It was at his Q&A panel. He said, "Hello, my name is Josh Greeley." So that's a good way to learn how to pronounce their damn name if you really can't pronounce it. Show up really early if that's all you want to know. But things like that. Alright, so the second type of panel that you will see, I labeled this as industry panel because technically it's different. I don't know if you call the Q&A ones specifically industry because they're usually just called Q&A. But I call them industry because they're part of the industry guest panels. So I don't know. But these ones are the ones you're going to mostly hear being called industry. So these are the series specific ones. So we've had, let's use 2015 KomoriCon because that's the one I remember the most. We had, oh damn, who was? We had Erica Mendez, Christine Marie Cabanos, David Vincent, and Patrick Seitz, who are all in Kill la Kill. That's Ryuko, Mako, Senketsu, and Gamagori, respectively. And they did a big panel where they talked about Kill la Kill. And they wanted to keep everything as Kill la Kill as possible. If they had any questions, it was going to be, they were hoping to be Kill la Kill related. They, like, someone might ask them to do a, like a scene, like a 2 of them or 3 of them talking as a like, I don't know, like what was your favorite part to record, and then they'll like play out their favorite part to record, like the lines, something like that. But they'll give you information on things like, they can't tell you if there's like a next season or if it's coming out because they're contracted not to tell you that, but they will tell you things like spoilers, I guess, for things that are already out. I don't know. I don't go to those very much, if I can help it. They don't interest me enough, but I guess I got to tell you guys something, right? But basically, just know that that the industry panels for a certain thing, it'll be like even better at KomoriCon last year. They had Stephanie Shea and Karen Strassman and one other person, I don't remember, but it was it had to do with Sailor Moon, and it was their names and then the title, The Voices of Sailor Moon, or something like that, or Women in Voice Acting Sailor Moon, I think it was, or something like that. So they were talking about a specific series. So if you see that and it says a specific series, don't intend on don't expect to hear anything that isn't about that specific series. So if you don't care about Sailor Moon, don't go to the Sailor Moon panel for them. It's that simple. Go to the Q&A. So I'm going to talk about the autographs first before I get into my last bit here, because I only have 2 more bits here, and that's getting autographs and concerts. So I'm going to talk about getting autographs right now because concerts, there's usually only one. So like there's one per con. So I'm going to just talk about the autographs for now because this pertains to all of the guests, just like the panels did. So every convention I've been to so far, the line for getting autographs starts a half an hour early. You can't start lining up any earlier than that. They will tell you to stop and go somewhere else. You can still hang out in the area. What I do is, this is just how to get it, make it easy for you. So be in the area around the time of like 15 minutes before the line starts, or even half hour before the line starts. So that'd be an hour to 45 minutes before the event starts. And then, and this is the case with literally any line, really. If you get there way before you're supposed to be getting there to line up, then you can make sure you're first. But then you miss that good half hour, 15 minutes of doing something else. So, and then there's always a chance that someone's gonna ask you for your picture right at the right, at the wrong time, and you're gonna be not the first one in line anymore, but you're still gonna be pretty close. Every line that I've done that for, I've been at least 10 or above between the first and 10th person in line. I've been the first person in line before, once. So it is possible. But I get there early and line up early. So like I said, there are set times, and you have to show up the half hour before that set time. The schedule will tell you what time that it's starting. So if it's starting at 5, be there at 4:30 to start lining up, or earlier to do the hangout thing like I said just a little bit ago. But look at the schedule for whatever time you need to be there. And usually it's going to go from one time to another. And if it's a small con like AkiCon, we were able to get back in line, and we were at the end of the line. So we were in the middle, roughly the middle of the line. We went through, and then we got our things signed, and then we went to the back of the line, and we still got through again. So that's how small that convention is. So if your convention is nice and small, you might be able to get back in the line, and you are allowed to get back in line, so far as I've known. Every con I've been to, you've been able to do that. SakuraCon, KomoriCon, AkiCon, and NewCon, you're allowed to get back in line. So do it if you can. And NewCon, I was able to get back in line to get an autograph because we were near the end and they still had like an hour left, so, or a half hour left or so, and so someone could have went in and got an autograph again, but we didn't. So we didn't want to pay for it because you have to pay at that convention. So yeah, just look at what time it's going to be, and then whatever. So my last one is getting things signed, like specifically your items. You can usually get 2 items per signature session, or per when you're standing at the desk and they're signing it for you. So if you go through a second time, you can get 4 things signed. So if you bring 4 things with you, and you can see you can get back in line, there's like no one else, there's barely anyone in line, then go back in line and get those other 2 things signed. But while you're up at the table, you can only get 2 things at a time. So let's say my K-On! I have all 4 things for K-On! Signed that exist in DVD form. I have Season 1, Season 2 Part 1, Season 2 Part 2, and the movie. And I went to get Christine Marie Cabanos' signature, and I brought the first session, I brought the movie and Season 1, and the second session, I actually went and bought Season 2, both 1 and 2 parts, and brought them up to her right before the signing. I literally bought them like 10 minutes before we got in line. And then I had her sign those. So you can only usually bring 2 things. David Vincent was nice enough to go, yeah, give me the third one if you have it. I don't care, it's fine. But I didn't have it on me, so that sucked. But I found him later, and he signed it. But the point is you can sometimes get away with it. So bring the third thing or fourth thing just in case. You never know if because it's not up to the convention on how many things you can get signed. It's up to the guest. The guest usually goes, well, it takes forever, so 2 things is easy. 2 things, no pictures, it'll go by super quick. But sometimes they don't mind if they see the line is going pretty fast and they're like, well, we're doing really good on time. We're actually really ahead of schedule. Yeah, we can do some extra stuff here. So they might go, okay, if you have that third thing, give me that third thing, and I'll do it anyway. That's how David Vincent's went. So it is possible to get that third or fourth thing signed, but don't expect it. And last is the concerts, like I said before. There's usually 1 concert per con. Sometimes. It really depends. When we had Lisa and the other girl who did Sword Art Online stuff, there was 2. SakuraCon is actually really big, so sometimes they can do 2. They'll do one like Friday before the rave, then they'll clean up and do the rave after that. And the rave usually starts at like 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning anyway, because SakuraCon is known for it being really early in the morning. But KomoriCon, NewCon, and AkiCon all have like 1 band going. So, and actually, it's been the same band. I think all 3 of them had the same band. It was the Slants. I don't like them. They're just not my style. They're not bad at what they do. Their music's not horrible. I don't hate their music. They're just not what I listen to, so it's not a big deal. I just don't go to concerts anyway for conventions, unless it's a band I really, really want to see, but I haven't so far. And then the same thing with the autographs is the same thing with the musical guests. So follow the same guidelines for both voice actors and all that stuff and musical guests. So I don't want to talk about that too much anymore with the autographs for the musical guests, because it's all pertaining to the same thing. So the only 2 real things you got to know are basically the same thing as everything else, except this is a separate category. You do have to line up the same way as everything else, just like the panels. And oh well, I guess I don't think I told you about the panels. You have to line up the same way as the autographs, where you have to line up an hour early. I can't even remember now if I said that, but you do have to line up in the half hour early, and you can't line up any sooner than that. And those people get in first, basically. That's when the line starts. So make sure you do the same thing. And then concerts also line up half hour early. So every line you get in, basically, period, no matter what the event is, you have to line up a half hour early, and you can't line up before that. You can line up after that, but chances are you're not getting in if you line up too late. And the other thing, just like all the others, is to look at the schedule to see what times the concerts are happening, or concert if it's just one. It'll usually go on for a few hours, like 3 hours, 4 hours, so, or something. It's a pretty long event because it's a main stage event. and it's a concert. You're not gonna go to a concert for 1 hour. That's a stupid concert. That's a lame concert. So just see what times it is. If you can make it, make it. If you can't, you can't. I don't know. But one good thing that I do want to talk about at the end here is if you get, because this kind of has to do with this and the last episode, the guests and hotels, and it kind of has to do with the panels too. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit, at that too. But it has to do with kind of everything. If you book a hotel and a convention has one of those wristband things where, like SoccerCon, you can book one of the contracted hotels with the convention center for the con, and if you show that you're in that hotel and whoever else is in the hotel with you, and you bring them with you or whatever, or say how many people are in there, they'll give you priority wristbands. These jump you to the front of the line no matter what. As long as it's within that half-hour time frame, you jump to the front of the line. So you paid your dues to get that wristband. You did what you had to do to get that wristband. You get priority. That's the point. So if other people wanted that, they should have done that, and especially if they got the hotels and they didn't get the wristband, that's their fault, not yours. So get the priority wristband if you can, if you go to these type of events, and you can get there and you can get in early. So, you can't get in early, but you can get in the front of the line. Or like even if your friend's in the line and they're like really close to the line and you're like 1 minute, 2 minutes before they open the event up, and you're like, hey, I got the wristband, and they're like, okay, well, you can go to the front of the line. You can go, well, hey, my friend's right there, can I just go with him instead? Go with then they'll let you go with your friend. You're still jumping the line, so you're near the front, because that wristband is guaranteeing you an autograph or guaranteeing you a spot in that event. So you're not supposed to miss it if you show it. You're not supposed to, as long as you do it before the doors open for the event. So if it's like an autograph, it's before they start the autographs. So that is pretty much it. I don't think I have anything else for this. If you guys have any questions, use the hashtag #OnHelpDesk on Twitter and let me know what questions you guys have, and I will answer them as best I can. I haven't gotten any questions yet for anything, so I don't have to do a session yet. So if you guys do have questions, let me know, because this one is a little more confusing because I don't go to a lot of panels. So all I do is go to the guest autographs. That's literally all I do for this. So I'm getting all this information from my friends. So if some of this is incorrect, or if you have questions about it, shouldn't be incorrect though, but if you have any questions about any of this, contact me and I will do what I can to get you a good answer for it. Alright, so that is it for this episode. Catch me on episode 6. Yeah, 6. Damn. Catch me on episode 6, where I'm going to be talking about something I should have talked about in the photo shoots episode, because I'm an idiot and I forgot. And that's private shoots. Private photo shoots where you contract a actual photographer. So catch me then, and I will see you guys later. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you happen to like this and my other videos, why not go over to Twitter and give me a follow at @J_cause. And while you're there, use the hashtag #JTopics to give me suggestions for videos or ask me questions for a Q&A. As well as you can use hashtag #JReacts, and you can give me suggestions for videos to react to, since now I can do that. Alright, have a good one and see you guys later.